How much do you read or listen to anything? Like, honestly, like if ESPN comes on, do you care if they're going to go, let's look at the Colts and the Packers, or you turn the channel?
I don't really watch that channel. Um, I mean, it's never on at the house unless I'm watching Monday Night Football and the sound is off. So I'm just not watching. Now I will say this: maybe if Kenny Mayne is on and Kenny and I have talked, and he's going to say something funny on SportsCenter, I might switch over if he's doing the late SportsCenter. So I will admit that, but because I love Kenny, but really, unless Tom here at the Packers gives me a heads up, I don't see a lot of the stuff. Or a friend of mine might say, "Hey, did you see what was written?" No, no. What should I look at it? They might send it over, but
Would you
yeah,
rather read or hear something that was negative or something positive? Like learn something that might be considered negative, or have somebody just say something, verbal bouquets about you?
oh, I mean, I don't think anybody needs to. At this point, I don't need to pump myself up with some puff pieces, and spend time reading and stuff like that. And I don't care a whole lot about anything on the other side of it, really. I mean, there's a job to do for those people. I've railed at times about how I think that the shock journalism with the clickbait headlines kind of rules especially the online media. But
Do you care about legacy?
yeah, of course.
Do you care where you're ranked all time or how people view you as, on the all time list of quarterbacks? Does that interest you?
Not really, not at this point. No, I don't think so. I think the eras are so different. I think a lot of people maybe think about those things a little more with LeBron winning another championship and trying to compare him to Michael and Michael to Wilt and Kareem and Russell and all the great players of all time. It's just tough to compare generations. So I don't get into that a whole lot. My legacy to me is more about like what kind of player I was, what kind of teammate I was, how I was to the organization, the community. That stuff's more important.
And also, when you assess quarterbacks now, like everybody's going to throw for 60, 70,000. It feels like. Whereas Joe Montana, John Elway, it was just different back then. If you threw 30 touchdowns, you had a hell of a season. Now, if you don't throw 30, it's almost like you're pedestrian here. How do you think the Hall of Fame voters will be able to sort this out with quarterbacks?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see how they do it because I've felt like that for the most part, it's been fairly standard with what gets guy in now with the longevity and guys, and the numbers being bigger than what they were in the 80s and 90s and 2000s. When I really got into football, especially in the 80s and 90s, and the defenses and the offenses were different. The game was different and the rules were slightly different. I still think that there should be a standard based on being the best of your position. I'm saying top three to maybe top five for an extended amount of years. It's a consistency being one of those top, really top three guys, I think, at the position for multiple years in a row for large stretches of your career. I think that should be kind of the standard. I think there's places for, guys who've had amazing longevity and put up amazing numbers. But I still think the majority of the guys it should be, you dominate your position, one of the 3 to 5 best guys for, a decade or for an extended period of time. That should kind of get you in.